Hello. Today I'm talking with you from a green space which I found available to talk about the Trecena of Kej. Of course, the Trecena of Kej representing our connection with nature, with the natural world. A great time to get out into the wilderness, or at least around some kind of vegetation, let's say, to reconnect with that wilderness, to reconnect with our natural power, our natural world. So we're going to start with the day 1 Kej, a day of that reconnection. You know, particularly if we're not living in or not presently in places like Guatemala, which would be warm and sunny and full of nature, we have to still try and find our connection with nature. This is what gives us our strength, which helps us to connect with our true presence in the world. And of course, 1 Kej might be a day for that reconnection, because we have the number 1 representing birth and beginnings, and Kej representing nature, representing the wilderness. Now, this isn't particularly much of a wilderness, but after a time of hibernation, let's say, sometimes we get stuck into our patterns of maybe it's not so nice to go outside, maybe we're not really feeling it. But then we become disconnected, we become more connected to the material, let's say, human-made world, and we forget our true connection with nature. So it's an encouragement to go out there, to go find some greenness, to go remember the song of the birds and to watch the squirrels or whatever it might be in your neighborhood, to remember your part in the natural world. Now this in turn brings us strength, it brings us energy. And so 1 Kej can be a great day if you've been, let's say, hibernating or sheltering against the elements for some time, to go out and remember what connection there is in nature. From 1 Kej, we're then moving to 2 Anil. So Anil representing ripening, representing growth, representing things coming to fruition. Now again, right now, particularly in the northern climes, there might not be many signs of that in the natural world. And this is why sometimes we need to put some effort into it. The number 2 can represent some self-sacrifice. And so when we see this, we understand that in order to come to fruition, in order to come to true ripeness, then it doesn't always come easy. Sometimes we're going to have to make some self-sacrifice, go out into the cold, as it were, in order to bring out that abundance, in order to bring out that ripeness. So again, we see something which is saying kind of like about how by making that small sacrifice, we have the opportunity to bring things to a more mature state, to their abundance. It can also be a day which represents relationships. And again, this requires some self-sacrifice. We have to make, kind of like give our energy in order to culture that, in order to bring it to a greater state of abundance. From 2 Anil, we're then going into 3 Toch. Well, after this talk of putting our energy in and self-sacrifice and this kind of thing, it's also important to remember that we need to save a little bit for us. I like to refer on that day of 3 Toch to you can't fill from an empty cup. Now, we may have an ambition, a goal, an intention to serve in our community, to serve in our neighborhood, to help people around us. But we also have to remember that it's important to make sure that we have the energy to do it. Now, hopefully, getting out into nature on 1 Kej and making our sacrifices in order to bring in the maturity, the abundance, we need to have the energy within. And 3 Toch might represent, okay, how can you look after yourself? How can you replenish the energy within you in order to be of greater service to those around you? 3 Tok is a great day to look at that and perhaps take a little bit of time for yourself in order to replenish so that you can serve to a greater degree going forwards. From 3 Tok, we then move into 4 Zi. So Zi, the dog, representing faith, loyalty, justice and law. And here, with the number 4 representing very much the physical world. And so the material plane of existence, how can we show our unconditional love in the everyday world? How can we do what needs to be done? How can we show our loyalty to the world around us? How can we help to preserve and amplify justice in our world? How can we show our unconditional love in the material world? Again, this could be something which includes work in nature. From 4 Zi, we then move into 5 Bats, another day of work, as it were, with the number 5, again putting our energy in, and here with the Nawal of creativity. So Bats days are great days for doing any kind of creative project. They're great days for allowing your creativity to flow in whichever form that might be, whatever form of art, as it were, that you might choose. And here it's a day when, well, yes, it will be flowing, but we're going to have to put our effort into it. You know, not all things are just going to drop into our laps. We're not going to just pick up a paintbrush and start painting a masterpiece. We're going to have to practice. We're going to have to put our energy in. And so 5 Bats could be a great day to choose to really put your work into any creative projects that you might be contemplating, that you might be in the process of. So, you know, if things have been, let's say, stagnating for a while, maybe the journey out into nature on 1 Kej, or that, you know, kind of like regrouping your energy on 3 Tok, can help you to have that energy to restart your creative process, restart your creative projects, providing you choose to put some energy into it. So 5 Bats could be a great day for that. From 5 Bats, we then move into 6 being a day of the journey. Being a day on which to get moving. Now, 6 could be a particularly good day for travel. Representing the path or the journey, combined with the number 6 representing, I feel, the manifestation of the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth into the physical world. So it could be a great day for a journey which is not just kind of, let's say, in the physical plane, a journey which is strongly guided by forces from the other world, as it were. So it's a day of stability. It's a day of good paths. And so we might ask for guidance from the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth in order to help to understand our path. We might ask for stability, for a straightforward path, a clear path on the day 6 to show us and help us where we are moving. And as I said, it should be a great day for any kind of journey that you want to make. From 6 we then move into 7 Ach. So Ach representing leadership, Ach also representing the home. And here we see it with the number 7, representing the pinnacle, representing choices that we might see from that pinnacle. It's a day of finishing things off, and Ach can represent the spinal column, which helps us to stand up straight in what we're doing. It's a great day to stand up for what will bring peace, what will bring harmony to your community, what will bring peace to your home. Now, with the 7 representing choices and decisions, it may be that we might be able to see from our pinnacle, as it were, different choices that we can make in order to support our home and community. And so they may be presented to you, okay, now it's time to take action on this, now it's time to speak about that. 7 Ach gives you the energy to do so. Sevens can be a little bit indecisive when you're faced with so many choices. Which one do you take? On Ach, it would suggest to take the decision, to take the choice, which most benefits your home and community. So it's a great day to stand up and be counted for those things. From 7 Ach, we move into 8 Ish. Ish, the Nawal of the altars and the shrines, the Nawal of the earth herself. And it's a day to recognize the sacred nature of the earth. It's a great day to be working with natural shrines and altars, with the sacred sites. And here, with the number 8, a day which can represent wholeness, but it can also represent ceremony, because many ceremonies are carried out on the 8th day of the Trecena. So, a great day, obviously, for making ceremony at sacred site, if you have one close to you. But it's also a great day for kind of recognizing again our connection to the Mother Earth, our connection to the sacred which is all around us and the sacred within us, and seeing that in wholeness, seeing it as us being a true part of our natural ecosystem when we choose to align with it, when we choose to actually, again, go out there and do the work, to get into nature. It can bring out, well, we could see it as bringing out a great deal of magic if we choose to go and connect the sacred within with the sacred around us. From 8 Ish, we then move into 9 Zikin. So 9 being the number of the feminine, also being the number of life itself. And here with Zikin, the Nawal of the vision. So, the easy way to put this would be life's vision, or your vision of life. And 9 Zikin could be seen as a really good day to be going out and getting clarity on your life vision. Which direction are you going? Where are you going? Perhaps being out in nature in the Trecena of Kej will help you to understand your life's vision better, will guide you and give you clarity on that vision. From 9 Zikin, we then move into 10 Achmach. So Achmach, the Nawal of forgiveness. Achmach, the Nawal of acceptance. The acceptance of ourselves and others for the beautiful, messy humans that we are. Achmach is a great day to ask for forgiveness and also to forgive what might need to be forgiven. Here we see it with the number 10 representing community, also representing cooperation. So when we put them together, we could see it as cooperation with the understanding that we're all human, with the understanding that we may have fallen over in the past, others may have fallen over in the past. Achmach, forgiveness, and the 10 giving each other a hand up, making those agreements that help to bond society through forgiveness, through letting go of things that happen due to human nature. And so, again, we could see it as drawing this strength from the natural world to help us to understand how we can sort of understand better our human nature and the human nature of others in order to create reconciliation. From 10 Achmach, we then move into 11 Noach. So, Noach, the Nawal of thought, the Nawal of the mind, the Nawal of knowledge and intellect. Now, in some ways we can see this as, right, okay, we're going from what's around us, what's outside of us, to maybe what we hold within us. And here, with the number 11, which can be a highly creative number, but not always easy to predict the path of the 11. For me, the 11 suggests that we're going and dipping into many different places, many different ideas as it's connected with Noch, and suggests that we can't necessarily solve the problems of the world through following the same path over and over again. We have to go to more diverse knowledge that's around us in order to get the understanding which can help us to come up with the solutions. So the 11 can be highly intuitive in its way. Maybe there's things that you hadn't thought of for a while. Maybe there's some knowledge that you hadn't been working with for a while. 11 Noch is a day which suggests, look into the furthest recesses of your mind to find the knowledge that will help you to solve the problems in the now. From 11 Noch, we're then going into 12 Tihash. So Tihash representing healing. Tihash representing purification, of cutting away. And here, combined with the number 12, a very high number and a very powerful number. It's a very independent number. The 12 can also represent the drawing together of all of your life's experience. So when we combine that with Tihash, this is kind of like saying it would be a good day to use your prior experience in order to purify, in order to remove from life that which is causing imbalance, that which is causing a lack of healing, as it were. And so in order to cut out the sickness, or in order to cut out the evil, as it were, from the world, we have to go back to our past experience. How can I use my past experience to guide the obsidian blade of Tihash to help me to pare away that which is no longer needed, that which is causing imbalance? And finally, we're going to end up the day on 13 Kewok. 13 Kewok, the Nawal of the birth, with the number of spirit, the number which represents the ancestors. Kewok as the midwife, the one who guides the birthing process, the one who gives us the strength, the guidance, the help to bring the new into the world. Because sometimes, going through that process is going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. Sometimes, kind of like it can be quite painful to bring the new into the world. And here we see it with the number 13, suggesting that the ancestors are close, suggesting that spirit is close. So it's a great day to call on your ancestors, to call on spirit, to help you to give that final push to birth what it is that you're trying to bring into the world. It can be a very powerful day of healing. Kewok being a very feminine healing energy, one which helps us to push through the obstacles to our healing. And here, if we're looking for the extra energy to help us, it's suggesting to tap into the energy of the ancestors, to tap into the energy of spirit in order to give us that strength to do so. So, I hope that this little journey into this little greenish part of the world has helped to guide you through the Trecena of Kej, and I'll see you again in 13 days' time for the Trecena of Kej. Thank you.